Good afternoon, chair boys. So it is the day before the season starts. It's very, very exciting. So I wanted to take a look at our match on Saturday, Wycombe Wanderers versus Exeter. So it will be an interesting game. I've already taken a look at how I believe we will play, but I want to do essentially a pre-match review where I talk about any stats, any figures, anything that I think is worth bringing up so we know in advance what we're going to get ourselves in for. So, first of all, injuries. I do not believe Exeter have any major injuries, as far as I can tell. Kyle Taylor came back after an 18-month injury in their previous game, so he may not be risked. Meanwhile, for Wycombe Wanderers, Sam Vokes, Josh Gowan, Damani Mellor, and Ryan Tafazoli are all question marks in terms of fitness. Vokes, Scowen did play against Cardiff, however, they only came on in the second half, and there will be question marks if over whether they're capable of playing the full match. I believe both of them will be made available for the team, but whether both of them play or not is a separate matter. So, in our last 5 games with Exeter, we have won one of them, we have drawn 4 of them, and lost one of them. So a betting man would say another draw. We played them twice last year in League One, in which we drew at home and lost 3-1 away. In the EFL Cup in the 21-22 season, we drew 0-0. And in the League Two season of 2017-18, we drew away from home 1-1 and drew at home 0-0. Yeah, we like a draw. I mean, fair enough. Now, key duel. There are 2 players in which I believe it'll be very important. The most obvious one for Exeter is striker Sam Nombe. He got 15 goals and 7 assists in League One last year, as they made a great transition to League One. And especially with the amount of players they have lost Jay Stansfield, they have lost Giovanni Brown. Sam Nombe will be a reliant talisman for Exeter as they look to survive. The pacey striker can play very, very well, and he can absolutely demolish anybody who he comes across. He is one of the fastest players in this league. And up against him will likely be Richard Keogh, who will be, I believe, in the middle of the back 3. Now, Richard Keogh, fantastic reader of the game, fantastic passing, fantastic aerially, but it will be very important to see how he is able to mark up against Nom. Now, I do not believe he has speed in any sense of the matter, but will he have the ability and the intelligence to be in the right positions to prevent him getting the ball? That is what we'll see. On the opposite end, Exeter will, if they've done their homework, be very keen to press Richard Keogh because they know or will know that his passing is phenomenal, and he will be the centre-back in which we look to play the ball out. So not only will Richard Keogh have to look after Sam Nombe, but Sam Nombe will have to press quite high to try and prevent Richard Keogh from being able to dictate the tempo of the game and just simply control it. Now, let's go to the board again. As you can see, I have put in the formation for both teams. Wycombe and Exeter, you may notice we're both playing a 5-2-1-2. This is the formation that I believe we're going to line out in, and this is the formation Exeter have played for the last 2 or 3 seasons, to be honest with you. So they have Sinisolo in goal, Dion Ranking at right wing back, who I put a star beside. He is a phenomenally good player. He is a versatile winger who is on loan from Chelsea, can play right wing, right mid, and right wing back. To call him fast would be insulting. He is rapid, and if given the ball in those wide areas, he will cause damage. I do believe, however, Kane Vincent-Young will be able to hopefully manage him. We'll also have who we have later. So we have Sweeney, Aimson, and Hartridge with Mitchell on the left. We have Tom Cowell and Trevor in the middle. Tom Cowell, a very good playmaker, can pick out a very, very good pass. He will look to sit a little deeper. We may need one of our midfielders to try and push him to prevent him from being able to pass the ball, because he will find a space for Rankin. He will find a space for Sam Nom. Then we have Aitchison in centre attacking mid, Nombe and Scott up front. Nombe is the big worry. If you had to pick 3 players, it would be Nomb, Carroll, and Dion Rankin to be concerned about. Now for us, we will start with Matt Striek in goal. Then we have a back line of Harry Boys, Joe Jacobson, Richard Keogh, Grimmer, and Kane Vincent Young. Now, I believe in this game that we will not risk Ryan Tafazoli at left centre-back. He might call in a second half, but we don't want to rush him, especially we do have the players who can play those positions convincingly. JJ can also play a bit more tactically fluid. We've seen JJ pushing in, become a centre defensive mid at times, which is a good thing to have on the pitch. Richard Keogh would be very important in terms of our passing, in terms of reading the game, in terms of aerial duels. Jack Grimmer, actually a really good centre-back. Right centre-back suits him. He's been able to make runs as a right centre-back, and somebody dropping back, Harry Potts dropping back, or Kane Vincent Young dropping back to cover him. He also gives us the option to push Kane Vincent Young much higher up the pitch and create a traditional back 4. So it makes sense to have him on the pitch. I believe Chris Frino, there's not as big of a question about his fitness, but it's still probably better to give him a game just to get into the swing of things. Now in midfield, I'm saying we're going to have Luke Leahy and Freddie Potts. We do not want to risk Josh Gowan to a bigger injury. If we can prevent Josh Gowan from getting a permanent injury, we have to. And if that means playing Freddie Potts for this opening game first, that's 100%. Freddie Potts did look like a very good choice against Cardiff, and Luke Leahy, I think he's one of the first names in the team sheet. In centre attacking mid, we have Cian Brecken. Interesting, exciting talent. Hasn't really hit the spotlight so far in our pre-season, but I think the potential is definitely there. And I think especially with Kane Vincent Young, he's going to want to push out to that right. Kane's going to be, I think we're going to make some good moves out there. And finally, up front, we will have Vokes and Dale Taylor. This is the area that I'm least confident about, because Vokes is coming back from an injury, but I believe Dale Taylor will work best with Sam Vokes. He has also worked well with Brandon Hanlon, but I think Sam Vokes will be starting for us. Now, they will look to sit a little deeper, but especially with the pace they have in attack, they can absolutely... Those quick through balls on the ground to Sam Nombe, to Dion Rankin, especially from Carroll, can absolutely demolish a team if you are caught on the wrong foot. It will be a major test for Bloomfield. It will be a major test. They are fairly tactically fluid. They can do a couple of different things as well. A bit like Bloomfield's tried to do with this team. I believe they'll probably stick with a bit of a deeper lying 5-2-3. The manager spoke about how at Wycombe we'll look to dominate the play a bit more, how we'll have a bit more intensity. So I believe he's going to try and sit back to take that intensity out of us. He'll have seen some of the players that we have, and I think he'll be trying to prevent us from getting into a passing rhythm very potentially. Now, my prediction is a 1-1. I believe we have the facilities to beat this team. I do believe so. But I think this is our first game of the season. It's a lot of new players, a new style. A team that's going to sit back and frustrate us, potentially. I think that's a lot to deal with. And it's historically a team that we like a draw against. So, I think a 1-1 draw that I think would favour us rather than them. It'll be a scrappy draw for them. It'll be we could have won this draw for us. I think that, yeah, 1-1 sounds about right, but I think it'll give us something good to build on. Something that's not necessarily the best outcome, but a positive outcome from tomorrow. And if we get out with a win, that'll be exceptional. If we get out with a loss, then poor way to start the season. However, I believe the only time in the past 5 years we've lost on the opening day is Rotherham. In the Championship, we've won against every other team that I remember us playing. Burton last year, Bolton, can't remember who it was 5 years ago, but generally do tend to do quite well on the opening day of the season. So a loss would be quite hard. I do not believe we're going to lose. I believe there's a clear quality difference between the two teams. Even if we're at the moment still getting to grips with our new style. And at the end of the day, a new manager. New manager is going to have a lot of different things. Going to have to do a lot of learning, and we're going into the unknown. It's exciting, very exciting. So I am really looking forward to tomorrow. I hope to see as many of you there. Make sure to be at the terrace. Don't forget, to the right-hand side of the terrace, near the Frank Adams stand, there will be the 1887 committee. They'll be there trying to get chants started. If you're free, if you're going on your own, if you're going with your mate and you want to sing, make sure to sit with them. It's a fantastic idea. Gonna have some new songs hopefully up their sleeves. I might wander over at some point as well, join in. But hopefully I will see as many of you there as possible. But otherwise, have a great day, Wanderers.